Well, good morning everyone. So today is June 1st and the last video I did was on the spring solstice back in March, so just a couple months ago. And today's the day that I'm going to be abandoning, today's the day I'm going to be abandoning the permaculture experiment here in urban San Diego, and might as well pick up where we left off, or where we started on the spring solstice tour. I want to make it quick because I am leaving this evening. I'll be gone for months, so my gardener abandoned me. This is gonna most likely be it's gonna most likely just get left on its own. I have all my irrigation pretty much dialed in, so we'll see what happens. But this is that same Santa Rosa plum, and if you remember last time, for those that watched it, there was a lot of blooms this year, but we didn't get too much fruit set, although there is some. So these are the ones that aren't gonna make it. I know there's a couple in the back. Here's some right here, actually. So you can see they're looking nice. This one needs to come off. And these are ready in about a month, usually in July. So there's probably maybe 2 dozen on here, which is fine. They're good. So it's always worth it when it does produce. And kind of going through here, the artichokes, which have been in here for years now, they're starting to flower out. I typically let them flower because although these are good, it's just a lot of work to eat them, and I really love the flowers and just the way they look. You can see there's kind of little varieties. It's all the same from seed, but this one, see how this is a little bit greener? This has some really nice purple in it. The flowers come out the same though, but it just looks awesome when they flower. So you can see them, they're way up there. They get tall. I just backed this plum down quite a bit. Typically you do it after it fruits, but I'm not going to be here, so I needed to bring it down some. And this is the new surprise avocado, which is pretty cool. You can see there's some decent growth on it, and I do have some irrigation going with the plumeria, so it's going to do well. Oranges this year pretty much out of super bloom. There's going to be hundreds of them. Seems like they're everywhere. I mean, every single branch has got them, and they're starting to form up nice. I've kind of thinned out anything that's weak. You can see like these just kind of fall off. They'll self regulate, but I also like to help them. I've trimmed this back a little bit just to get the all this new growth, you know, make sure it's balanced. Of course, a lot of irrigation, and then I take advantage of random plants that I have just to kind of make sure that the water doesn't get wasted and not have to add more. Kind of back through here, this was all the Pride of Madeiras trimmed out because they've already flowered. Oregano. But in here as well is the pear. We did get 1, 2, possibly 3 this year, but it's been up potted, and it's going to do really nice right next to the lamb hoss. So this lamb hoss as well, you can see there's definitely some growth in there. This was a tiny guy when I got it, and I expect this to fruit in probably 2 years, or I'll let it fruit in about 2 years once it's more established. Night blooming jasmine is starting to bloom out. Summertime. These guys are nice. Finally upplanted this palm here. It's been in a tiny pot for 10-15 years. It'll be in here for another 20. Acanium got crazily got trimmed out for sure, and this is going to be the producer. So this is the Wirtz avocado, and it's established, it's older, it's probably 5 years old. It was in a 15-gallon pot, but now finally in the ground. And really good rootstock. A lot of water's going down on here. So with the dragon fruit, there's from seed Annona, the cherimoya. This is a pestamon. So a lot of water is coming in here. This is gonna be huge when I get back. Papaya, I broke it off on accident, but you can see there's new growth coming out. Good to go. Way too much rosemary. Grapes, I'm trimming them back. They'll get out of hand. They're doing well. So over here is a new area. As you can see, there's these little guys here are awesome. But Cleveland sage, yellow monkey flower, Tahitian plumelo, night blooming jasmine, mid pride peach or Eva pride peach. There's a couple guys in here. They'll be ready in a few months. And this monster here is just dropping fruit daily. It's that time. This is the desert gold, and as you can see, good size. Delicious. Too many of them. Right next to the more of the artichokes, and this is always kind of my chop and drop. So you can see there's quite a bit on here. I've taken bags and bags. And Texas privet, bees are going nuts on it. Always bloom in May, June. Last of the acaniums. I've trimmed them out, all deadheaded them out to keep them in shape. Go back through here. This is the what is that? The apricot that I just trimmed up because I needed to bring it down. Typically after you fruit, there's some good fruit on this one, but like I said, I'm gonna be gone, so I need to take care of it now. So I took it down, and it'll get some good shape. This is from seed avocado. I'm gonna use for grafting stock next year. Got some blueberries. This is the grafted and base Booth cherimoya. So it's definitely coming back out. There's a little ladybug crawling up. And so we got a couple varieties that are sticking. This is the Charolata. This one hopefully maybe or may not. That's the Pierce, and this don't know what this one is, but I don't think this one's gonna take. That's okay. And yeah, broad beans everywhere. New stairs. This is grown into the ground. I'll deal with it when I get back. Star jasmine's blooming. Wonderful smell. And then I kind of reworked this area. So this is the lime, Tahitian lime, up potted. And it's gonna do well. There's a couple in there for sure. But in the next few years, it's gonna really pop. Lots of strawberries and just random plants. So I have too many plants. That's just how it is. More plants, no irrigation, but they're good to go. And as you can see, all new entrance with the gate. Works out nice. Lavender. And this is the Cape honeysuckle. Kind of keeping it trimmed back a little bit. It's flowering. It's not going to get irrigation, so hopefully I can have someone come by and at least put some on here once a week or a couple times a week. This huge privet is probably 40 years old or more, and it's flowering out for sure. The bamboo looks good right now. A lot of new growth because we had a lot of rain this year. You can see all the new growth coming out, but this does not get irrigation. So by the time I get back at the end of the year or into the summer, it's going to be pretty dried out. But compost. Down here is the good peach, main production. So these are all the blackberries, and they're out of control as usual. I have way too many of them, but they're delicious. They're just all over the place. And got a couple just random plants in here to kind of use the water that's dripping down, let it go through these first, then it gets into here, so we try not to waste water. Eating my peach raspberries. This will produce for 6 months, which is awesome. This is the first from seed avocado I planted. It's about 4 years old, and as you can see, it's pretty tall, and it's really vigorous, very hardy. And if you see right here, that's a daily 11 avocado, grafted on about 3-4 weeks ago, about a month ago, and it's just starting to push out, so I'm pretty happy on that. This whole tree is going to be grafted stock, and I'll probably put different ones all over, but I'll try to keep at least one branch and see what happens. Just more random blackberries. They seem to do well in the wine barrels. And as you can see, they're everywhere. Oh man, delicious. They're just all over the place. They do really well for me. These are reed avocados, so got these really tiny, and they should do well. So I'm hoping they're a couple feet taller when I get back. Of course, more blackberries. You just can't stop eating them. I'll trim them out at about 2 to 4 foot, depending. That'll branch out and give me more flower. This is the fig that I'm using as grafting. So grafting stock. There's a yellow long neck that's taken. There's another one down here, but it's pretty low, so it's not getting much energy. It may or may not keep, but we'll leave it there, no problem. Blueberries. So good. Another one right there. So all these guys were in really bad soil. They've been transplanted into preferred soil mix, and they're going to do really well. So I'm happy about that. The Anna apple, no, this is the Fuji apple, got transplanted too because it had a big weed grown from the bottom, one of those big castor oil plants. So the root was this big going into it. Had to pull it all apart and replant it. So it's going to be happy for sure. It's kind of an experiment on shape and form. More figs. And work table. So all this stuff, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. I'll try to give it away today. This is the what is this one? The Oro Blanco that was completely bare, and it's come back really nicely. I don't think it'll have fruit this year, but it's going to be happy. Pomerias, of course, more blackberries, and then this is kind of like the back garden area, kind of wild. So a lot of cilantro, wild birds like to get seeds, and then over in here is some pretty serious tomato production. So I have no idea what these are. I thought they were going to be my chocolate sprinkles. I'm thinking somebody must have thrown some seeds out in compost, and then these came up. You can see these are the chocolate sprinkles, a different shape. I know these are delicious. I don't know how these are going to turn out. I won't be here to try them, so. But they seem very productive, and this is really healthy. Of course, way too many blackberries. Pick some more. Look at the size of that. They're so good. So, just random things everywhere. Green beans. So good. Dragon fruit. This is collard greens. And all this stuff has irrigation. Should be good to go. More cilantro. This stuff will die out and just let it fall over. And then over in here, broad beans. That's boysenberries. Those for sure are chocolate sprinkles. You can actually see the form on them. They have that classic shape. Really good variety. This is rootstock for grafting next year on apricots, plums, peaches. These in here. Birds are singing. And then more tomatoes. For sure, these are chocolate sprinkles. This one, nope. This one is that weird one. This one appears to be the chocolate sprinkle. This one appears to be some sort of wild cherry. And here's the Anna apple. These are ready in a couple months, July. They're ready soon. Pink lady back here. This is August, September. Here's a good example of the chocolate sprinkles. You can see that shape. I can get them without breaking them. You can see that really nice shape. Of course, more blackberries, because why not? And bougainvillea, random stuff that comes up from seed. So much rain this year, everything popped up. All this will dry up. No irrigation. And this is kind of like the even more wild area back here. So we have some sage, that's butterfly sage, fragrant pitcher plant sage, and this is that castor bean plant. Really good for chop and drop, but invasive. It seeds out really quick and pops easily, but they're controllable. The rest of that is what it is. It looks like a jungle because we had so much rain, but this will be dried out here in another month. And look at all this arugula. Random chocolate sprinkles. So that's gonna be it. I want to make this short as possible for my reference and for anybody that likes to watch these videos. This is what you can do in 25 years in an urban setting. With if you have enough space and enough time, with the right techniques, you can get pretty good production and relatively maintenance free too. I've been gone for months at a time, come back and things are still popping and growing like they should. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So hope everybody has a good summer. I'll have another video in the fall when I'm back and we'll see what happens.